Welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris and I'm here to bring you guys the high rev perspective.
And my name is Josh and I'll be bringing the low rev perspective.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new DV8 Dark Side Curse. And I'm going to be comparing that to the Brunswick Danger Zone Solid and the Rotagrip Rockstar Amped.
And I'll be comparing it to the Motive Primal Ghost and the Radical Intel Recon. These comparisons will give us and you an idea of what these pieces look like going down the lane. At the end, we will give our honest, unbiased review anywhere from nuts to trash. Today we are here at Bolero Mesa on a fresh house shot. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe and we'll see you out on the lanes.
Alright, after seeing the Dark Side Curse go down the lane, I wasn't that much of a fan of the original Dark Side. In my opinion, that ball felt a little niche for kind of where it sat in the bag. I thought it was pretty early and smooth, but also kind of quick to friction. This one, to me, almost felt like a similar ball reaction. This one being a solid symmetric piece, but it still has the compound on it, so it's a little shinier. So I really wanted to float, not quite to see the early friction, but to me it was a little quicker, but still really forward. Like even the shots that I kind of got around it and really wanted to see it kind of go through the pins, it never really did. And the misses that I got forward, there wasn't enough friction response to get it to come off the spot and make the pins kind of fly. It kind of locked up and went forward and never, almost kind of pancaked when it hit the pins in my opinion. So ball motion wise, I didn't really like it that much. I do feel like it's a little bit niche. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw the Rockstar Amp and see how that compares. Alright, now these two look pretty similar going down the lanes because of the colors of the ball, but the Dark Side Curse is quite a bit earlier of a motion. I feel like there were a couple where it saw the friction a little bit sooner than the Rockstar Amp. The Rockstar Amp, I was able to kind of like get it to float to the front part of the lane and kind of always use the friction to make the ball come off the end of the pattern. And I feel like it retained a little bit more energy than the Dark Side Curse. I feel like with the Dark Side Curse, it saw the friction, used most of its energy and just went forward and didn't continue through the pins. So I feel like they fit a somewhat similar spot, but the Dark Side Curse is a little bit earlier and sooner than the Rockstar Amp. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw the Danger Zone Solid and see how that compares. Now the Danger Zone Solid is another one of those strong symmetric pieces that have the compound on it. And to me, this has been the one ball that I've kind of seen with the compound on it being a solid cover stock. It actually fit the ball motion. To me, these fit a similar spot in the bag, but I feel like the Danger Zone Solid is a little bit more dynamic. I feel like with the compound on it and the strength of the cover stock and the core fit this one a lot better than I think the Dark Side Curse does. Personally, I feel like even when there's a decent amount of oil in the lane, the Danger Zone Solid is just gonna be a little bit more versatile. I even moved left here and kind of opened up my angles and shaped it a little bit, and I could really see how much more dynamic and strong off the end of the pattern that it wanted to be compared to the Dark Side Curse. I just could not get the Dark Side Curse to shape the right way, kind of like the Danger Zone Solid. All right, to me, I have personally enjoyed most of the new DV8 releases, but this one for some reason just didn't really do it for me. I just wasn't quite a fan of how forward it was off the end of the pattern. I have a pretty forward ball roll to begin with, so having this one that not really kind of help it off the end of the pattern, I feel like just isn't going to suit my eye very well, and it's not going to kind of fit in my bag. So for me, it's going to fit in the potato category. I was not really thrilled with how ball motion going down the lane and would have liked to see it be a little bit more continuous.
Just threw 10 shots with the Dark Side Curse. This ball for me was on the smoother side, definitely one of those kind of lazier symmetrical solids in a sense where it didn't really want to do too much to friction. It wasn't my favorite shape going down the lane because I did have a little bit of a struggle of whether to play the oil or to kind of play the friction, and this one was just in that weird zone where I felt like I had to get it to friction but couldn't get it there too early because it still was kind of quick. So again, like kind of put me in a weird spot where I didn't trust the ball motion. I tried to keep it in oil and it never hooked, but the moment I get it to friction, I just felt like it was a little too jumpy on me. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Primal Ghost and see how that compares. Just wrapped up with the Primal Ghost. This ball for me was definitely a little stronger, a little earlier. For me, I could easily tell just because of how much more forward it was going through the pins, and it really wanted to hook earlier on me, and I felt like that was actually nicer just because it wasn't so responsive to friction. So for me, I felt like I was able to send it there and it was just kind of work its way back to pocket but not be violent, which I did like a lot better than the Curse. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Intel Recon and see how it compares. Just wrapped up throwing shots with the Intel Recon. This ball for me was definitely a little bit sharper off friction, a lot more jumpy. It naturally is a cleaner ball, but I did feel like it still had a similar feel to the Dark Side. I do feel like these would be kind of that comparable 1-2 to each other, or really like a 3-4, because it is a lot more, you know, in the more of the back end of the bag, at least for a player like me. So definitely friction before I even think about throwing either of these two pieces. But I did feel like I was able to play more on top the friction with this one versus the Dark Side. I did feel like the Dark Side was a little bit more, just a little earlier and a little bit more forward, so where, again, there had to be just a little bit more oil in the fronts for that ball. Final thoughts on the Dark Side Curse. For me, like I said, this ball was definitely a cleaner piece, but a little bit more forward than I was anticipating. And unfortunately for me, this just was one of those pieces where I could not really figure out. It wanted to be forward, so like I felt like it was a little stronger, but at the same time, like the moment I straightened up, I feel like it just never wanted to see the lane the right way. And for that reason, I am gonna have to give this one a potato. I just, again, didn't feel comfortable with it, and the moments I did feel like it was a good shot, it just didn't do what I thought it would do. So, potato for today.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.